I should probably hit record in order to record a video, huh? Apparently, I'm not the brightest. That's okay. Also, I do have a fan on behind the camera because it is a little toasty, even with the air conditioning on. And as much as I would like to blame that on this one, because he got long hair, he has to be comfortable. I'm really hot, so that's how we're doing it today. So today I'm doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. I think I did this last year, and I did, where did I put it? I did bring my book journal, which now has stickers on it. I got stickers recently in boxes and from Krista and Becca Ritchie, so it's pretty now. I mean, the blue is nice, but you know, it's still nice. In case I need to like refer to what I read, because I've read almost 150 books so far this year, so that's a lot. Anyways, let's get to the questions, and I'll leave the questions down below as well. So question number 1 is the best book you've read so far in 2020. Okay, I feel like, hold on, let me look at what I've done so far. I do monthly favorites, so see, I don't want to put, I don't want to do a reread, because that seems wrong. But it's a book I don't think I had ever read on BookTube before, but I feel like that is my favorite. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine. Not that all my other favorites aren't like totally worthy, but that one I think is definitely my favorite so far. It held up so well. It's amazing. It's middle grade fantasy. It's a Cinderella retelling. I reread it for my Cinderella Smash or Trash video. Sorry, Murphy's trying to get into a bag. And I do plan on doing a Smash or Trash in which I talk about that versus the adaptation of it, in case you were interested. But I do want to give an honorable mention to Thicker Than Water by Tyler Schultz, which was a nonfiction book that I got off of Audible a couple years ago and finally listened to, because this is about, Tyler was a whistleblower in the Theranos case, and just this audiobook was spectacular. It was so interesting. You could tell like how emotional this whole situation was to him and everything, so honorable mention there. Best sequel you've read in 2020. Oh, you know what? I'll say this. This is one of my monthly favorites, but especially because I almost didn't continue with the series, I feel like this one has to get it, and that is Hideaway by Penelope Douglas. Corrupt, I was like, meh, and then people kept talking about the series, so I was like, okay, I'll keep reading, and this was amazing. So this is Banks and Kai's story, and I absolutely loved it. I could not stop listening to it. It was amazing, wonderful, fantastic. I'm still not sure Penelope Douglas is for me. I'm still not sure dark romance is for me, but this book was definitely for me. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Actually, you know what? Here, let me pull up. I feel like I haven't, oh no, you know what, I know what I'm gonna say. It is on my list to read. It's actually like the next book I'm planning on reading once I finish my current read, and that is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Honestly, I think the main reason this one is the top of the list, I've actually been pretty good with reading my new releases as they come out. I'm only like 3 behind, and that one is the oldest, and it's the one that I'm like the most afraid of getting spoiled on, so I need to read that ASAP. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Oh, so I would have originally said Bridget Kemmerer. Like if you had asked me this a couple weeks ago, I would have said Bridget Kemmerer's new release that's coming out in September, I think. Defy the Night, I think is what it's called. I don't even know if it has a cover yet. I'm so excited for that. But like a week or two ago, I was on I was on Instagram, Margaret Rogerson's new book, which I was like hoping for a Margaret Rogerson book. It's called Vespertine, I think. Do I know what it's about? No, but I have loved her previous 2 books and I am here for it. I was kind of worried that she wasn't going to have a release this year, and so such a happy surprise. Next, biggest disappointment, Star Daughter. And this is like YA fantasy, sci-fi, I don't really know how to classify it. Cover, gorgeous, still gorgeous. I don't plan on unhauling either of my covers. That is completely fine. They're still gorgeous. It didn't click with me. I will totally read another book by this author and see. Although I think her writing style may just not work with what I like. I think she might be too like pretty for me. And that's the case. So but yeah, that was kind of disappointing. But I think I also kind of hyped that book up in my head, and that's what happens, you know. Next is biggest surprise. Oh, so probably I'm just gonna say like the Wicked Villains series by Katie Robert. I am like now a Katie Robert stan. Like I am on her Patreon now. Like I am obsessed. When I read Desperate Measures, I was like super uncomfortable about it. And honestly, I've read some stories, like some like little shorts about Jafar and Jasmine, and I still don't particularly like them. Although I read their original story with my eyes, and I have listened to every other book. And so I am interested. If I ever have time, I think I might go back and re-listen to the first one just to see if that changes my perception. But I am 100% on board with this. I am no longer uncomfortable about like them being Disney villains. Like I am a little bit, but I think as the names have started changing a little bit, like I have gotten a little bit more comfortable, so I don't know which one is making me more comfortable. And I mean, they are very sexy, like, and I listen to these at work. And I'm like kind of uncomfortable. I'm always afraid like my headphones will like disconnect or something. It has never happened. And right now there's like nobody at work, but next week people come back. So, you know, we'll have to see. But I'm obsessed. Obsessed. And really, I mean, Learn My Lesson I did really like, but The Beast was the one that like completely changed my perception. And like completely, I was like, I'm in, I'm done, I'm here. Give it all to me. Give me all the books. And now I want to read everything Katie Robert has ever written. I'm obsessed. Also, I've now read like multiple Minaj stories and I'm super okay with it. And I still haven't read a straight, which is a weird word choice, female story, but I do believe the last book is female. I thought The Sea Witch was, but it's not. It's Minaj. And I'm kind of okay with it, like, but I'm really excited to read a female relationship. I still want to read one that's like more traditional romance as well. We're just broadening our horizons this year. Next is your favorite new author, debut, or new to you. Murphy, have we read any new authors this year that have been like game changers? I feel like I've read a lot of books from authors that I have read before. I'm gonna just scroll my Goodreads. Oh, maybe. Okay, so I'm not sure she's like a favorite because I've only read one book by her so far, but I will say Melanie Ting. So she wrote Snowballed, which is the 9th book in the Muyu series, which those like just recently came out and in June, like when I'm filming this. And I actually own a book by Melanie Ting and have owned it for years, and like I feel so bad now that I haven't read it because Snowballed was such, like, I wrote this in my review, I think. It was such, it's like, it's a soft book. Like, it's not something that I feel like somebody is, like, everybody is gonna be like, oh, this is my new favorite. It's gonna be that book that, like, for a certain person, it's gonna be a new favorite, and it's gonna be that one that, like, you go back to and you think about. The hero Noah was such a sweetheart. oh my gosh, he was so nice. And like, he was supposed to be kind of a snob, but like I never saw that at all. I think you should, and he like, really, it was that he was like misunderstood or whatever. But I loved him. I loved his grandma. Oh my gosh. And she was like always like trashing, like he wanted to make the girl that he was like dating in this book Japanese food, and she was like, I'm gonna send you all the Japanese food because I don't trust that Vermont will have good Japanese grocery stores. And I thought that was really funny. This is just like such a sweet story. It dealt with some really serious things. It dealt with grief, and it definitely made me bawl my eyes out, but it was so good. It was so quiet, but like in the best possible way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. That is the only way I can explain it. Newest fictional crush. I don't know. I don't really like crush on guys in my books, or girls, but like I'm a guy person, so I don't know, like that's not really my thing. I feel like I probably said that last year. I'm trying to think if there was like, oh, you know, because I just saw it. So Teddy from Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. He is such a, I've been such a fan of like this sweet guy this year. I've like always kind of been a beta hero person, like, so, and like I feel like the sweet guy is just an extension of the beta hero, and Teddy, he was just amazing. He just wants to be loved, and he is so kind and caring and observant. Newest favorite character. Do I have a new favorite character? I feel like I read so much in like continuing series. I can't think of a new favorite character. Like, I could say I really liked Melanie in Second First Impressions. She's one of the side characters, but I don't know if I would like say she's a new favorite. But for right now, I guess that's what we're gonna say. Next, book that made you cry. Oh my gosh, I think Snowballed is the book that made me cry the most, for sure. Geekerella by Ashley Poston did make me cry. Oh, Float Plan by Trish Dollar, that made me cry too. Next, book that made you happy. I don't want to keep saying Second First Impressions. It did make me really happy though. It was just like such a like pleasure to read. Obviously like I've reread a lot this year too, so like for the most part when I reread, I'm rereading books that make me happy. Oh, Gail's Family by Ruby Dixon, which was kind of a novella for Gail. It made me so happy just to have Gail get a story. Would I have preferred a full-length story for her? Yes, but I completely understand why Ruby Dixon chose not to do that. But I was just so happy to see Gail be happy and to have everything that she deserves in life. And I'm so happy for her. How many times can I say happy? Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. Okay, I can't get to all of them because my library is a mess right now while I'm rearranging things. But I did get the, like, I think it was Fairy Loot special editions of the Graceling Realm. So I have Bitter Blue because it was on my Winter Keep because it's on my TBR shelf, because this is the only one I haven't read yet. But they all have different colored spines, and I'm just like so impressed. Like, this probably isn't my favorite, but I am so impressed, and I love the end pages in here, and I'll try to put in pictures of the other covers. Number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So like so many books. So let me look at, oh, so I don't want to do new releases because I feel like, you know, but there are some books that I purchased that I would really like to read like relatively soon, before the end of the year. So The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I finally am gonna read an N.K. Jemisin book, and I would really like to do it this year. And I've heard that this is like a pretty good one to start with. I've heard there's a good romance, so that's exciting. An Extraordinary Union by Alyssa Cole. I keep putting this one off because I'm like paranoid, like I'm petrified it's gonna like break my heart, but it's fine because it's about a black woman who's a spy. I believe she's a spy during the Civil War. So I just know that there's gonna probably be a lot of stuff that's gonna make me really mad, but it's fine. People actually had to live through that. I can read about it. And then, oh, The House in the Cerulean Sea. That's even on my TBR, like one of my quarterly TBRs, and I still haven't read it. Need to read that. And then I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. That's also on my quarterly TBR. It is on my, this is like my TBR for June, so hopefully it is right here. Hopefully it will get read in July. And then Fave book community members. Well, that just seems like rude to like just call people out. Like, what if you forget somebody? I follow far too many people on BookTube. I will say for sure, Elliot Brooks, Elliot seems like the nicest person. And like, she went through so much last year and is still such a great person and gives back to the community and tries to help build up the community, and I just really enjoy her videos. I also in like the last year have subscribed to a lot of people who aren't in the BookTube community, so like that's really cutting into my BookTube watching time, if we're being honest. Of course I like Books and Lala. Who doesn't like Books and Lala? She comes out with some really creative videos, which I really appreciate. Oh, Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me. I really like her. Again, I feel like she's just, like, when you watch her videos, like, she just makes you happy. Like, do you ever watch people like that? Like, I feel like there's a lot of the people I watch, especially in like not the book community, even like if I don't care about like whatever they're talking about, they just like have this presence that like rubs off on you. And I found her because I was just looking for people who were doing like TBR games because I was curious, and she does a bingo one. But I do really like her. And we have some similar taste in books. Oh, Lacey Book Lover, she's a romance booktuber, which I'm trying to grow my romance booktube watching, because I feel like that genre of booktube has really grown and I want to support more people. Oh, I just started watching Jessie May. I do really like her. I swear I'm not like, I feel like there's tons of people I watch, but like I'm trying to call out people that are like changing the game for me and like really helping me. Yeah, so there's tons more people that are amazing. But Instagram, obviously I'm there. Oh, you know who I really like on BookTube? I mean like a lot of people. But what is her channel or her Pink Cowland Reads? She's the one who created Step Back Saturday, which is probably one of my favorite hashtags. So definitely love her, and her feed is really pretty on Instagram. I need to not look at people's Instagram feeds because then I feel like, why do I even try? But here we are. It's fine. We all can't be good at things. I guess. I don't know. So that is the mid-year book freakout tag. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!